Greetings from California.
And greetings from New York City.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. I just came from the West Coast and I miss the weather and it sucks because it's supposed to be 90 degrees this weekend in LA. And when I was there, it was like, upper 50s and 60s at night. I was like, really?
Well, if you remember when we went to Los Angeles, we went at the end of April and we were both shocked that it wasn't that warm.
Right.
I was pissed. California, it misleads you. It be looking nice outside. It ain't nice. It ain't nice. Mm-hmm. It's actually going to be 80 degrees here today. I got my backpack. I'm going to the beach. That's why we filming early. But a beach day here is like, child, you taking the day off. You calling out of work. You are rearranging your week around, oh my God, it's going to be 80 degrees. I'm going to be at the beach. Other than that, it's like, that's why everybody be having jackets on out here.
It's pretty gloomy over here. I mean, I can't wait till, it's actually spring because now I don't know what this is. This is full spring.
It's second winter.
New York City is the greatest city in the world. New York City is the greatest city in the world.
Look, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not. I love New York. It was them damn winters. And the thing is, after about February, March, it'll always fool you. March, it'll try to act like it got a little bit of sense, but by the end of March, early April, second winter. And second winter lasts until about May 15th, May 20th. Like once you get close to Memorial Day, then summer's like, okay, look, I'm coming in whether you're ready or not winter. It's the same thing in Chicago. It's the same thing in all the Northeast. They get that second winter. It sucks. It really does. If it wasn't for second winter, if winter could just take its ass in March, I'd still be living there.
Yeah, it won't go away like, the Jussie Smollett story or the Will Smith and Chris Rock story. But yeah, let's get into these topics. A lot of things happen, like it always happens after we film. So right afterward, I heard that Lee Daniels and Monique squashed their feud. Hell have frozen over.
It is the 2020s. Anything is on the board. As I say, I believe we'll have aliens by 2025.
Okay.
I think this is good. I'm glad that Monique can stop complaining about this. Now we can put it to bed and move on. I'd love for her to get back to being the wonderful comedian that she is. I want to hear her jokes. I want to hear her takes on life. I'm tired of hearing about Precious. It won the Oscar. You won the Oscar. We know you're talented. Let's just move on from Oprah, Sissy Perry, and Sissy Daniels. I mean, this is what happens when straight people and gay people argue. It just goes on and on. Now, I wonder if Oprah's gone forgive her because can nobody hold a grudge like a lesbian. Ask Candy Burris.
Well, yeah, she still has to make up with Tyler Perry and Oprah, but I believe that her main anger was towards Lee Daniels. And this all started from her management, her husband, telling her that she should get paid for, I'm guessing, the Precious promo tour or something like that?
Yes.
Okay. It was just such a long time ago. I want to say this was over a decade ago.
I mean, when did Precious come out? Empire then came and went. I will also say, Monique, you would have been a funny Cookie Lion, but I would rather have Taraji as Cookie Lion. I feel like Taraji did it better.
Precious came out 2009.
Oh my God. So yeah, over a decade.
And then filming for it took place in 2007.
So the press tour would have been 2009.
Right.
2008, 2009. Now, I will say her white counterparts, the studio would have paid for them to go on the press tour. The studio would have paid to put them up in hotels and cons. The studio would have paid for them to be dressed and have their glam teams. You think Jessica Chastain or Meryl Streep or Sally Field pays for that? So when you are talking about an Oscar nominee, when the movie is getting way more attention, you dig into your pockets and do what's right. If it's right for the white women, it's right for Monique. And I have a question for you, Lee. Would you have dared to ask a white woman to do it for free?
Well, I'm not really sure how it works in Hollywood because I know before Precious, he had this other film. Oh, what was it called? It was about boxing or something like that, and it had like a white lead actress in it.
Million
Damn
Dollar
it.
Baby?
No, it was something else. Shadow Boxer. That was his directorial debut. It had Cuba Gooding Jr. and Helen Mirren and Monique. That came out in 2005.
You ain't asking Dame Helen Mirren to pay her own way. I'm sorry, you ain't. You ain't. And she would say no because she's like, I'm not running through my money for this. Like, this is a business expense, therefore the business needs to cover it.
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, I wonder how that went.
Well, did it get nominated for an Oscar?
I don't believe so. I don't even think it did that well. It was one of those like indie movies.
Okay, then she just did it because she wanted to. But again, when you're doing something like that indie, it's not like you're doing a Marvel movie where you're beholden to do all that press. Who do you think's paying for all that press that they doing? You think Elizabeth Olsen is spending her money to go to them press junkets and sit there all day? You think she's spending her good check?
I mean, not with a Disney production, no. So Lee Daniels and Monique, they're going to be working together again as well. So she is taking Octavia Spencer's place as, I'm not sure if it's the lead actress role, but she's going to be in it. But the problem is it's going to be on Netflix. And Monique already has a pending lawsuit with Netflix. So I'm wondering, how is that going to work out? Exactly. I'm like, okay.
That's yeah, Lee gonna have to smooth that one out for her. But I would say it might be good for Netflix because this way they can say, look, we're still willing to work with her.
Mm-hmm.
There was never any bias.
And speaking of Lee Daniels, like we have another story. He did a interview with Ts Madison. I believe it came on last night, but it's coming on again on YouTube at 2 p.m. today. But of course, she asked him about Jussie, and I think this is the first time he's actually like been on record discussing it. So there's a clip of it, and he says that he admits he was confused by Jussie Smollett's alleged hate crime hoax. In the interview, he told Ts Madison, "I was confused." He admitted that he still has no idea what actually occurred that night, but will choose to accept Smollett's side of the story. He says it didn't happen, so I have to believe him because he said it didn't happen, he explained. He said, that's the boy that I cast, that's the boy that I love. He said it's too painful to talk about. And then she asked him, like, was he upset? And he said he cried like a bitch over the situation. That interview comes on later today. I might try to do a little separate review for it, but I'm really curious, like what she talked to him about, like and everything else.
I cannot wait to see it. I guess he gonna stand by his friend and he wants to believe him. I feel like you can stand by your friend, but also not believe an obvious lie because, as I've said many a time, where are the honkies? Where they at though?
I don't know.
If that's Lee's stance, if he wants to stand with his head in the sand like an ostrich with his ass facing the sky, well, that's his usual position.
Well, probably not when him and Just, never mind. Anyway.
Girl bumping pocketbooks and losing change.
Well, I'm so glad we haven't heard anything about the Jussie situation or any updates. I'm glad so far. And I think this week we don't have any Will Smith updates either, unless you have something that I don't know about.
No, I think I've covered everything thoroughly.
Oh, okay. Well, moving on. Kanye West has dropped out of Coachella. That happened earlier in the week. And The Weeknd was just announced to replace him. And I think that's definitely like a good trade-off because people like The Weeknd these days. He's really popular. But here's the story to that. The Weeknd wants Coachella to run his money though, because Coachella thought, oh, we don't have Kanye West in this slot anymore. We don't have to pay The Weeknd what we was gonna pay Kanye West. The Weeknd was like, oh, nah. He was about to pull out. And they already announced him before the ink was dry on the contract. He didn't even sign the contract yet. So once he found out how much Kanye made, it was 8.5 million. They didn't want to pay him that. They were going to pay him a few million. So he was like, oh, hold up. I'm not performing unless you pay me the same that y'all was going to pay Kanye West.
Get
I
them.
agree with that.
Get them. The Weeknd deserves 8.5 million. He's huge. Like, name me a bigger act right now.
They really tried to stiff him.
I mean, Kanye was probably getting that because of all the full free press and promo they would get, because they know Kanye's going to bring the drama.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess people do like that Donda album. I ain't heard it.
Yeah, I haven't listened to Kanye West in years, since he was a Trump supporter rocking that red hat. I said I would never support him again. It's so weird hearing his old music whenever I'm out, because I'm just like, wow, I really have not heard this in a long time. And I love his old music. That's like me canceling Beyonce. It is. Like, I love Kanye West. I have every album that he put out, from the College Dropout all the way to Life of Pablo.
All right, I'm gonna say this. You may like Kanye West. You love Beyonce.
No, I did love Kanye at a point. Like, I would be there like first day in Best Buy buying, like, late registration. And 808s and Heartbreak got me through my ex. I don't think I told you that, but yes, I had 3 albums that I listened to after I broke up with my ex. It was 808s and Heartbreak, As I Am by Alicia Keys. Don't judge me, okay? I saw that.
No, that was so not judgment. That just was really making me feel sad about my ex.
Oh,
that made me think about what song made me think about my ex. That's what that was. That made me feel really sad. I've actually been missing him lately. So it had nothing to do with Shade to You.
Oh, okay. And then the last album was Keisha Cole, her second album, Just Like You. Those 3 albums.
I cannot listen to music and think about him, because then the songs will be associated with him. There's one song and one artist that I have to stay away from, because then I just start crying. What
artist?
Lana Del Rey.
Okay.
He loved Lana Del Rey.
She's like a Sonic Xanax.
Yeah, but I can't say I dislike the music. Well, I liked it when I was with him.
Okay.
And so whenever I hear her, it reminds me of him and the good times. And it's like, why did I fuck this up? And then it's like, Alex, you didn't fuck this up. You lost him to mental illness. It's nobody's fault.
But yeah, I will not be going to Coachella. It's actually coming up next week. Wow. Anywho, yeah.
My friends want me to go to Burning Man.
You should go. I mean, it's more so the experience than like the lineup.
Do you know what Burning Man is?
I mean, I've heard of it. It's like in the middle of nowhere or something like that. I mean, it's white people shit, probably.
I'm not going. I'm not going. It's a lot of camping. Just no.
You know how they have the movie where something awful happened and you narrate it like, this is what happened. Like when I say yes to Burning Man.
I am so happy and chipper this morning because I got a great night's sleep. And a great night's sleep will make you feel healthy, well, and with it. I am so excited to tell you about our newest sponsor, Ghostbed. We love their products, and I'm going to tell you all about the best bed in the game. Your mattress is a key to a great night's rest. And let me tell you, Ghostbed has me waking up feeling my best. It's made by Nature's Sleep. They've been in the mattress space since 2001, so 20 years in the game. Every Ghostbed product, from mattresses, sheets to pillows, has these wonderful cooling features. Now, I know I sleep hot, so having a nice cool mattress, actually what's called the coolest bed in the world, makes for a wonderful, restful, and comfortable night's sleep. Shipping is free and fast. You can try the mattress for 101 nights and even get a warranty for 25 years.
Now listen, I love Ghostbed too. And admittedly, y'all, I had the same mattress for 9 years. So I just switched it out to Ghostbed and oh my God, the sleep that I've been getting, I wake up feeling so much more refreshed. So Ghostbed provides free shipping and most orders ship within 24 hours. It's zero down and 0% APR financing. It's easy to finance on a mattress starting at $35 a month. Yes, you can buy a mattress for like $35 a month. Ghostbed also offers bundles so you can get everything you need for a full bedroom upgrade. Choose any of their mattresses and pair with their award-winning adjustable base with 15 massage modes, cooling pillows, and more. To find your perfect mattress, check out ghostbed.com/roast. Right now, Ghostbed is offering our listeners 40% off Ghostbed bundles where you get a mattress and adjustable base, or 30% off site-wide. That is 30% off all mattresses plus 2 luxury pillows. Use promo code ROAST at ghostbed.com/roast. Hurry and take advantage of these savings. That's ghostbed.com/roast and make sure you use promo code ROAST. Now, I could not wait to discuss this story with you because you know, as my friend, how much I love fried chicken. So you can only imagine how my reaction to seeing Paula Patton, who I like, she's like a mid-tier actress in Hollywood. She decided to make fried chicken and record herself doing it. So someone did a TikTok recapping how she made chicken and reacting as she was doing it. And it just went viral. It blew up for 2 days on Twitter. And Black Twitter, oh my God, they jumped on this woman. I felt bad for her because I was just like, she's thinking, oh, I'm just frying chicken. I'm showing people. People were coming at her from all sides. So I think what went wrong, first was the washing of the chicken. It's debatable. How do you wash your chicken? I wash my chicken under some lukewarm water just to wash the fat off, to pull the fat off, excess fat, and wipe the blood off or something like that. And that's it. But I heard some people, they actually put vinegar and lemon juice and stuff like that.
Some people do wash it with those types of mixtures just for a little extra cleanliness. So I feel if they want to do it that way, some people feel like the lemon gives it flavor and starts to break down the peptides of the chicken. So I can see a little lemon rub.
Well, scientifically, the chicken ain't good until the heat gets to it in the first place. It don't matter. But still, so what went wrong to me was when she just put unseasoned chicken in unseasoned flour, just plopped it in. And then she put it in the frying pan or whatever as it's cooking. And this was the most shocking part. She started seasoning it while it was cooking in the oil. So she was basically just seasoning
oil.
The grease.
Just seasoning oil. I mean, that a little seasoning would get on the chicken, a little, but then the oil would just carry it away. I am flabbergasted. I mean, you put your seasonings in your flour, you shake it together. They are together, they're with each other. You don't put chicken in flour and then season it.
Right. And then not even talk about some people do an egg wash and season that and then put the chicken in that and then put the flour. And then she turned it over in the pan, seasoning just probably all just washed away and then season it on the other side. So later on, you see the oil is black. And then, she put the chicken up and then, oh my goodness. I just wonder, how did that taste?
Terrible.
And she said that was her mom's recipe and...
Everybody mama can't cook.
Well,
Everybody mama can't cook. Some of our mamas have other strengths. It may not be in the kitchen. Everybody mama can't cook. Her mama couldn't cook and passed down the can't cook to Paula.
Let's just say the gene from the mom, it didn't work right.
If the oil was black, that means she's cooking it on too high of a heat. The oil should still be clear, maybe a little brown with, the flaking of the chicken. But I mean, when you season in oil, God only knows what's happening.
She's pushing a white woman's chicken recipe. That's what she did. Like, it was unseasoned chicken. Basically, like, she did a response video. And she was just so nice and gracious about it, because some people were being mean to her. They were like, oh, I see why Robin left, because he was hungry. Like, it was a lot. And then they were talking about her being biracial and stuff like that. Like, she was a good sport. Like, okay, we can criticize her chicken, but how do we get it to there, And we're all talking about, protecting people and people sensitive about jokes. So let's keep the consistency, people. I'm just playing devil's advocate right now, anyway. But yeah, like, I was so glad she had a really good response to it. Like, she wasn't angry. She was just like, well, that's my mom's recipe. I'm open to trying different things, but that's always gonna be, I'm always gonna cook it my mom's way. She said about the washing of the chicken, she's like, maybe because of the video was edited, but I made sure it was clean. I gave it to my son and his school. So she made this for a school of children. And then someone brought this up. Shout out to my friend Kenyatta. She was like, they have people cooking like for the school, like post-COVID, And I was thinking, that's a good point. Like, can they do that?
Well, it's airborne. It's not like it's in the chicken.
Well, you just, you get random people making food for strangers making food for like the kids and stuff like that. I would just think that they would have, you can only make that in-house or something.
And also, how many of them kids ain't little, vegans and vegetarians and pescatarians, all these dietary restrictions? She probably only had to make 8 nuggets.
Yeah, she should not make any more cooking videos. Like, just leave it alone.
Actually, she should. She can have everybody clown her all the way to the bank.
She can probably capitalize off of that, I'll say.
And I think her attitude is, I'm rich. Y'all can think whatever you want. None of your thoughts affect not ne'er check in this household.
It could have went left, but I just love that she was a good sport about it, because like, she was trending for her fried chicken. Like, they were like, can we switch out Paula Patton for Paula Deen?
What?
I was like, what? Exactly.
I'll take Paula's chicken over Paula Deen any day.
Because it doesn't come with, racism.
Yeah. It's just, okay, it was poorly made. It wasn't made with malintent.
Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to get over Chick-fil-A though, because, they have homophobia in their chicken.
I just have their sauce and I don't care. They employ a lot of homosexuals. I just bought some Chick-fil-A sauce yesterday. I am fuck free.
They sell it in the store. I wish they sold the barbecue sauce in the Polynesian.
I pay taxes to America, a racist country. So where am I really going to start the nitpicking at?
Right, because I mean, we can start with, Apple, Disney.
Yep. I'm waiting for my reparations. We just waiting, so.
I hear that. Speaking of taking a joke, it looked like T.I. couldn't take a joke from a Black female comedian at a comedy club who brought up his sexual allegations as a joke. Did you see the clip?
I did see the clip. And Little Lord Short Lord does what most runts do: jump up and scream, demanding for attention that they don't deserve.
Right. And T.I. tried to lead this narrative that, she started or whatever, but the comedian came out and said, well, actually, you heckled me as I was on stage. You called me a bitch, and you told me to take my wig off. And I said, I'll take my wig off when you talk about the allegations. And that's when, you see the clip of T.I. For some reason, he was given a microphone too. He went on stage to intimidate this woman, and he actually touched her too. Like, he hugged her, but definitely without her permission. So I'm just like, what we were talking about last week. And I'm just like, where do we draw the line now? If it's just a joke, even if she did talk about his allegations and he was there, he still shouldn't have got on stage.
Who is letting these people on stage? Where is security? I am sorry. Stay in your seat.
I bet you if it was a Black male comedian, maybe it would have been a skirmish on stage. But since it was a woman, like I just didn't like the way he was talking to her because he told her shut the fuck up too while she was talking. Like it was just so uncomfortable. Like he is disgusting.
Why was he given a microphone? See, this is when I would have to walk off. I'm like, look, I am here to tell my jokes. I am not here to get into an argument or back and forth with you. If I ask you a question, you know, it's going to be a simple question to lead me into the next joke. That's it. I will say I'm not going to make fun of anyone in the audience because people are crazy. But if I make a joke you don't like, or if anyone makes a joke you don't like, you have two options. Sit there and let them move on to the next one or leave. You can leave. Now, if you want to get up to leave, that's fine. You don't have to sit there and listen. But why ruin the show for everybody else?
And after he got the mic, he went off telling the audience that although he was accused, he was never charged with the crime. Right.
Because that, of course, means you're innocent and nothing happened.
Right.
And also the stuff in Vegas, that wasn't thoroughly investigated because of the statute of limitations.
So then he responded to her when she said her side of the story, and he was like, hold on, I didn't call you a bitch. Show me where I call you a bitch, and I'll give you $1 million. She was like, okay, bet. She got the security footage, and lo and behold, like, they have him calling him a bitch. So I need him to pay her $1 million now. Everybody needs her, like, everybody's in the comments saying, run her money. And now he came back and was like, oh, she's such a great comedian. He's introducing her and stuff like that. He is a liar. He is a chauvinist. Just fuck him. I want to say fuck him and his wife, but I still like Tiny. I still do. Like, she still has a soft spot in my heart.
Pete still has a soft spot in my heart, so I guess we both love pit bulls.
But yeah, like, for some reason, like, you heard that T.I. like does comedy now, and he has another comedy show coming up. So I'm just like, who wants to see this, and who was encouraging that?
Just because you can get people to show up and hear you talk does not make you a comedian. Especially when T.I. doesn't understand half the words that are coming out of his mouth.
He also likes to use words that he like got in the thesaurus and just throw them in basic ass sentences. Because I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know. I just cannot stand him. Like, he's like in the top 5 like toxic nigga category that I just can't stand.
Him, Lil Boosie,
The Baby, 50 Cent.
Most of them are short.
Huh.
I think they're just upset because they didn't grow up. And 50 Cent's upset because his mother never loved him.
I can see that. So moving on, in Girl, What Are You Doing news, Blac Chyna is seeking $300 million in damages from the Kardashian-Jenner family for loss of future earnings, betrayal, emotional distress, and humiliation. And I read that right, $300 million.
And the Kardashians are trying to have their billionaire status blocked from being used in court. I think Blac Chyna should run their pockets. Gonna run their pockets. And I love it. I mean, you got Rob Kardashian. Already, that's already a win. You have the only Kardashian child.
This article is insane. Like, the more I read it, like, it just gets worse. So first, it starts out with Kim, along with her mom, Kris, and her sisters, Khloe and Kylie. I guess Kourtney, you know, is the broke one. Like, she don't even care about her. They're all asking the judge to not allow Blac Chyna to seek economic damages during the trial. And Chyna is suing them, like, for spreading lies, that she abused her ex-fiance, Rob. She claims the alleged falsehoods were told to executives who ended up canceling her reality show, Rob and Chyna. Chyna is also suing Rob for posting explicit photos of her online to his 9 million followers without her consent. So she wants money from him too. This is the breakdown of the $300 million. Chyna's statement of damages demands $36 million from Kim Kardashian for emotional distress, Another 36 million for injury to reputation and humiliation, and $36 million for anxiety and betrayal. She's also seeking $44 million in loss of earnings and another $64 million in loss of future earnings. So she thought she was going to make $64 million in the future.
Well, I mean, when you think about all of the product tie-ins, all of the reruns, maybe getting into executive production in her next couple seasons. I'm sorry, but the Kardashians just signed a 9-figure deal to Hulu, 9 figures.
I get it.
Attached to that family, as well as having access to her own spinoffs, but because they got rid of her on E and Bravo, Viacom wouldn't touch her. I feel like go for what you know.
I get it. I mean, she knows this is a family of billionaires, so shoot for the moon and see what crumbs you get from it. But I'm not done. Chyna's also seeking $100 million from Kim in punitive damages. All that I just said, she's suing Kim just for that. And now Chyna wants $19 million in punitive damages from Kris Jenner, and then $94 million in punitive damages from Kim and Kylie, and $5 million from Khloe. It's ridiculous. Like, what?
Get them. And I'm surprised they haven't just paid her to go away, but I feel like they will lose. She's going to have Ryan Seacrest testify like she is going in.
Yeah.
I think it's time a Black woman took that family down.
I agree. I mean, she was lined up to do that. All she had to do was marry into the family, but she didn't last that long. She got to ex-fiance. Could you imagine, she would have Kardashian at the end of her name, and then even if they divorced, she could probably keep the name. So ooh. I think that's what she's talking about, the missed opportunity. I don't know.
Yeah. You see, when you get Rob to propose to you, you take that ass to Vegas and make it legal real quick.
Right.
And then you honeymoon in the Maldives and just fuck him silly. So that way, after the 2 weeks, he can't run and get in the gnome.
Right. Before you even say anything, girl, sit on his face before you can say anything. Look, that's the best way to get him to shut up. I was about to say, so yeah, you were right. They said they're trying to block their testimony, any testimony about their wealth from being used in the trial. I mean, I don't like them that. I mean, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, so I don't care. Run them to the cleaners. Do what you got to do to get that check. But this is some vicious, I don't think Cardi B went after Tasha K like this, you know?
Actually, Cardi won $4 million and has just won an injunction to get her videos taken down. Yeah, Cardi B went after her like this. With Chyna, we just haven't gotten to court yet. But I think that once we get to the depositions, the Jenners will see if they can or can't win this.
I could see her getting a payout of $15 million.
And it would be worth it. I'd go through this for $15 million. I'd go through it for $5.
I'm being generous though with that, but I can see her getting some money from it, to settle at the last minute.
I mean, if I was them, I would have given her $50 million to shut up. I don't need the bad press and promotion. And what is $50 million to a Kardashian?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody put in $5 to shut this heifer up. We ain't gonna miss it. That will not affect our lives in any way. And then you get her to agree to never mention you, never talk about you, don't ever bring up the show, you can never sue. Problem solved. If I could solve a problem with $5, I would.
Okay, when you put it like that, okay. Well, good luck to Blac Chyna. I'm guessing she gets the kids tomorrow, right? Oh no, that's Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Thursday. This is her last day of being child free. No, wait, she still got Friday. She still ain't got no kids Friday. So this is her Saturday night.
I can't believe she actually shares a kid with Rob Kardashian, and that just has to be really weird for the kid.
To have a mom that looks like an alien?
Well, no, but just to be caught up in that legal battle, you know, like not only for child support, but you're suing her dad as well as her dad's side of the family. And every time that baby, I mean, that's Kris Jenner's grandchild. So it's just like every time, you know, she sees a grandchild, this is Blac Chyna's daughter. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, she's in that family, whether they like it or not.
Right. I know birthday parties have to be weird.
Well, I think if anybody can fake it, it's those two.
You're right. When I think of fake, it's synonymous with Kardashian anyway.
Yeah, fake heads, fake butts, fake lives.
Well, let's get to our Bravo portion of the show, and we need to talk about this trailer that just debuted like an hour ago. Now that is how you do a damn trailer. That is how you do a motherfucking trailer. Andy Cohen, your cross-eyed ass was right this time. This time, he's a broken clock. So yeah, I will give it to him. They delivered. I watched it at least 4 times.
It was spectacular. It has me salivating for this season. I'm looking forward to the new girl, Diana
Jenkins.
I knew it was something.
Right? A white woman with a Jenkins last name.
And she's from Bosnia Herzegovina.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, they got Jenkins over there.
Right?
Well, no, her husband is a Jenkins and he's from the UK.
Okay.
And he has actual money, not pretend money like PK, but actual money. And I like how she said, oh, you looking for a new villain? Here I am.
Right. Like, what a good way to introduce yourself. Like, this is why I was so unimpressed with the Real Housewives of Atlanta trailer last week. Cause I'm like, okay, this is cute, but I'm a little underwhelmed. There's so many things to unpack in that trailer. Like with Erica Jane, and then with Garcelle telling her, well, you do a better job of that on your own. Like, just, it was so good. And then they're coming for Kathy now. Like Erica and Lisa, they're like, she's gonna sing for her supper. Like she's gonna get into the mess. Well, she's gonna get dirty this season. Like, I'm not sure what Kathy did, but I guess, you know, we shall see.
I'm interested to see what Kathy did when they locked her out and everybody was like, don't answer the door. Erica Jane, what about the victims? What about the truth? The only person I care about is me.
We knew that though. Like you only cared about yourself.
And I would say that makes me think that maybe that article is right. Because, you know, they're suing Erica for $50 million, saying that she was the front woman to make Girardi and Keese look like a solvent legal business. And that's why they put her happy butt out there making that crappy music and put her on Housewives of Beverly Hills to make people think that her husband was a successful lawyer and not a successful schemer. And actually, he's an unsuccessful schemer.
Interesting. Like I knew she knew something. Like she's protecting him clearly. Like that's the difference between her and Jen Shaw. Like Jen Shaw, like she believes that she did nothing wrong. Like Erica Jane, she knew what her husband was doing. I'm sorry. Like you cannot convince me otherwise.
I think she knew. I think she had some ideas, definitely.
Mm-hmm. I also feel like everybody shined in the trailer. They got their little moment. Like, and this is like an 8-person season, which we haven't seen that in a while since like New York. And I thought that was a good season when they had 8 people. And not to mention, plus the 2 other people, the friends of with Kathy and Sheree. And then Sheree, like, just the added on thing of the Will Smith incident. Now she's going to be asked so many questions now because you got someone that has a direct line to Will Smith during this whole drama. So that's the other added value of having her on the franchise.
Are they still filming?
No, they're not filming anymore. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be mentioned to her, like when she's going to watch What Happens Live or the reunion.
I know they're going to have to talk about it at the reunion.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think Garcelle's going to shine this season. They got a new cast photo as well as a new cast like introduction, like what they do before the episode opens, I think. You know what I mean? Like they were all in red at the title, and then for the promo look, they were in all silver. Like, can you say budget?
It was nice to see.
The Jersey girls are still like had the exact same thing they were wearing 2 seasons ago.
Well, they have the same faces that they did 2 seasons ago. With them, they refresh, so every year you got to update.
Anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, Kyle needs an executive producer credit and Renna.
I'll give you that. I'm looking forward to the sister drama with Kyle and Kathy. I think they need to go on and bring Kim Richards too. Just have all three of them.
They need to make this Dorit's last season. I don't care if her house got robbed, but other than that, she doesn't really bring anything to me. And then Crystal, this is her season to prove herself because I don't know, last season she faded into the background.
Real quick. I
feel like the new girl's probably gonna gun for Crystal spot. And you know, Kathy, she's on there for fun. Probably not anymore because Erica and Lisa have it out for her.
I feel like they want her to come on and expose her life, and she's just not going to do that. And I feel like cast members get really jealous when one person is on the show and they ain't got to show shit, and y'all are out here spreading your legs and showing your cervix for a quarter.
Right, but she doesn't mind being a friend of because she doesn't need the money from Housewives. She just wanted to, like, I guess, just have the notoriety or whatever. I don't know.
I think Kathy Hilton got on to promote Paris's shows.
I can see that. I'm just wondering, like, what is her benefit of being on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
It's something for her to do during the day.
Yeah, I can see that. So Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it debuts May 11th. Real Housewives of Atlanta is May 1st. I think it's going to be a fun May to review these shows. And then we have Married to Medicine. I'm pretty sure at some point it's going to be here at June. Are you anticipating that show?
I am waiting for Married to Medicine. They have been very, very quiet. We know they're filming because Heavenly gave us a little tidbit, and I think Simone gave us a little tidbit, but they've been very tight-lipped. I think they're going to be giving us a longer season because it seems like they've been filming for a while. I know Anila is still involved, but also they brought back that white heifer who thinks she's Joan Collins.
Yeah, I heard they're actually done filming. It's just the whole editing the season part.
Well, you know what else has changed? I think because of the Vivi, they no longer film while the season's airing. Because remember, they used to have episodes on while they were still filming Atlanta and Beverly Hills. And now I think because of the virus and because, you know, production may be shut down, they're like, nope, we got to have it all in the can so that, you know, we don't end up airing something and then have to take a few weeks breaks like they did during Beverly Hills and Atlanta because of the Vivi.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's still Ultimate Girls Trip season 2, which I can't wait because I like Phaedra. I'm sorry. And I miss her on Housewives as well as Jill Zarin. But anyway, like, I don't want to open up a can of worms because I know you hate her. Last but not least.
It's not that I hate her. It's that I stand for truth and justice, not fraud and theft.
Well, speaking of which, we can talk about Carlos King and his new podcast. Like, since he's the reason that Phaedra got fired, allegedly. So he interviewed Ebony from Real Housewives of New York, season 13. And it was a good interview because he interviewed her right after the New York announcement. So what did you get from that episode? Because I thought it was a good show.
I got why Ebony is not good for the Housewives. I found out exactly how full of herself she was. And that does play into Housewives because it definitely was delusions of grandeur. There would have been a cash shakeup regardless if Ebony had come on or not. She called herself a demolition woman. And I'm sorry, I don't think you were really kicking down doors like that. I mean, yeah, you got Ramona to run out of her own house, but the truth is the cast banded against you to not film with you. And a lot of us think that you didn't make the show as fun as you needed to. You yourself said you were ready to come with the whimsy. I don't think we want to see what your version of whimsy is. From Carlos King, he did ask some great questions, but his voice is very annoying. It's like listening to Ross Matthews, but gayer. It's painful and it's irritating.
I agree. And a lot of people said that Nene got her whole shtick from Carlos King, and you can hear it when he talks.
I could see that.
But there was a lot of takeaways from this interview. First and foremost, like the way Ebony was talking, like it sounded like she's convinced she's going to be a part of the reboot, which I wouldn't mind. But I do think she's better suited on other shows than the Real Housewives franchise. I just think that maybe she should be on The View, like Carlos King suggested, or like a View-like show, because I think she takes herself very seriously. And I get why she wanted a second chance, because she wants to show people that, she's fun and she can, kiki with the other women. And they did put her in a situation that was, kind of out of her control. Like she wasn't friends with anybody. Like I didn't know she wasn't friends with Leah, like at all.
They did a great job of pretending to be bosom buddies.
They did. But I do think if you bring Ebony back, you should bring Leah back on the reboot, just because I feel like there'll be tension now between them. Because now there's proof that, Leah, Luann, and Ramon, they all banded together to like ice her out, which I think was kind of wrong on their part. It makes me look at Leah differently.
I mean, I always looked at that supposedly liberal heifer with a side eye.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised, but I'm just like, because she always tried to like go above and beyond to look woke.
Yes.
She said she knew ahead of time that they were going to do this whole reboot thing, so she wasn't completely in the dark. And I think she still has an ear towards production. Again, I think she says she really wants to be a housewife this time around.
She's got Sonia. Sonia and her are still friends. So Sonia is letting her know because Sonia is going to be on the reboot.
Okay, yeah, Sonia might be on the legacy version.
Yeah, or I'm sorry, the legacy version.
But I will say that, I still like Ebony, but she's going to look real crazy if she wound up not being on either. Because the way she was talking to Carlos, it was like, I'm going to be on this. I'm ready to show this other side of me. I didn't get a chance. She also said she didn't watch Roni after the Black Shabbat. Like she stopped watching.
She ain't missed shit.
We all did, right? But yeah, I'm just curious to see like the feedback. Like my question to the audience is like, do y'all want Ebony back on the reboot? Do you think she should get a second chance? So sound off. I'm really curious to hear what y'all say on that.
I want Ebony to be on a show like The View or The Real. I wish her much more success. I just don't think that she makes good reality TV. It's just that simple. She takes herself too seriously. She can give a look, she can turn a phrase, but I really don't think we could see her do a 180 to whimsy. Like everybody pointed out when Wendy on Potomac tried to become a little more fun. Oh, well, you were this way last year, now you're this way this year. And Wendy wasn't as forceful as Ebony.
That is a really good comparison. Like just how Wendy started off, like she took herself way too seriously. And I think she really course corrected on her second season.
Because we watch these shows to have fun with our aunties, fun with our sisters, fun through the screen. And yes, there can be moments of intellect and insight, but we get that all day. Sometimes we just want to have a laugh, watch something a little mindless, turn the brain down a little bit. You need to relax. That's what this show's here for. It's okay for us to do that too. And I think Wendy got it. And I just don't know if Ebony would be able to pivot that way.
I'll give her a chance, you know, and you did mention like she does have a tendency to talk at people sometimes. So I can see like how some people can be a little oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Can be put off by it just a little bit.
I mean, I'm listening to a podcast and I feel like you're talking at me. That's takes some doing because you ain't even in the room. And I'm like, I know you don't even know I exist, but I still feel like you're talking at me. And it's just, yeah, she's gonna have to learn, maybe it's just a different cadence to her speech, but when you feel like someone is talking at you, it's very difficult for you to really receive what they're trying to tell you.
I'm gonna try to imitate how she comes off. Now, Alexander Rodgers, let me tell you one thing. Honey, darling, sweetheart, this is what I do for a living, and I believe that I should be on the reboot of Real Housewives of New York as the first Black woman. Like, kind of like that, just a little bit. I wouldn't mind if she came back just to see if she can course correct, you know, how she was on the last season. So I'm gonna give her a chance.
You know, she just needs to take that I have a dream out of everything that she says. That's what it is. It's like, honey, everything ain't got to be a speech or a soliloquy.
And this is a compliment to her. Like, sometimes I just think that she's too smart to be on a mindless reality show. So it's not a dig at Ebony at all. Just letting y'all know.
That is a great way to put it. It's you want to have high-minded conversations when everybody's like, we're just at the bar having drinks. It's not time to talk politics right now.
Right. But yeah, we have come to the end of the show. I'm sure something major is going to happen tomorrow as we're like premiering this shit. I will see you sooner than Blac Chyna sees $300 million.
And I'll see you sooner than Carlos King sees an Emmy.
Bye, y'all.